What's up, guys, and welcome back to my garage. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're back today to check out yet another new vehicle, but you might have also noticed something else new happening here, and I can explain. So if you guys remember, on our previous save, we were unable to retrieve any of our vehicles that we were keeping in storage, which was really bumming me out. Definitely not the developer's fault, though. After a lot of troubleshooting, I was able to determine that the reason for all of that was an air ride suspension mod that hadn't been updated since like 2022, and it kind of just broke everything. So I figured the best way forward would be a completely fresh start with a much larger garage, so we would just have more space to be able to work on vehicles. And that's precisely what we've got here. Now, before we go inside, I feel like I should clarify this. I didn't construct this facility. Somebody else did that. I just simply downloaded the thing. This is called DSilvers Garage. So I'm assuming that DSilvers is the person that built it, and they did a phenomenal job. So up here in the front, this is kind of our main showroom area. It's our main entrance to the shop. I should probably turn on some lights so we can really see what's going on here. Around the left, this is our office. I did have the computer set up in front of this chair, and it has since disappeared, but we didn't ever really use that thing anyway, so I'm not super concerned about that. This is going to be our wheel tire changing station area thing. No idea what we're going to use this for, but everything's just so well laid out in here. The one downside is we're down to just one lift now, because this is a completely new save. We are starting from scratch, basically from nothing, though we do have 10 grand. This is going to be our main sort of tool workbench. We do have a funnel now that we can use too, so we'll be checking that out later. This is kind of our secondary workbench. It's our cutting and sanding station, welding station, and then we have some other miscellaneous tools that we don't really use all that much, but we need to keep them close by. Around the corner here is where I put our barrels that we also never used, and these little dollies that I didn't really care for to begin with. There are a bunch of these little like racks in here too, and I'm not really sure what they're meant for. My only guess is like suspension. Like you take out the front or rear member from a vehicle, and maybe you can slot it in there. I have no idea. We'll find out momentarily. Bunch of storage over here, and then some more like table things. I guess I could see these being useful for body panels. But behind this door is my favorite room, my favorite area in the entire shop. We have a dedicated paint and sandblasting booth now, which is very nice. I mean, look how stocked up we are on the sand. We're ready. We're ready for anything at this point. This door just goes around the back of the warehouse. But this place is perfect for us, or at least I think it's going to be perfect for us. Something else I'm going to try to do with this one too is stock more stuff in the garage. That way we don't have to, you know, go across the street and grab batteries or light bulbs or spark plugs, you know, all the smaller stuff like that. So as I mentioned before, we only have $10,000 at our disposal, which isn't going to be enough to purchase the new vehicle, I don't think. But that's where these three vehicles up front come in. So the truck here, because it has the nice topper, I'm really tempted to sort of keep this, kind of hang on to it and use it as a parts runner vehicle. It's worth about 10 grand. I think that's what we paid for it. Honestly, I don't remember. These are the three vehicles that spawned at the used car dealership. And I just gave myself enough money to buy all three of them. Kind of sight unseen. I didn't really look into them whatsoever. I don't even know what this one is, actually. A Jason. Okay, so it's got the same front end then as the El Camino that we no longer have. You know what? I don't want to talk about it. Oh, wait. Something else that I haven't talked about yet. You might have also noticed this. There's no more, like, brick barrier around the main lot to our garage. That's an additional mod, but I'm really glad that we got rid of that. I just feel like it freed up a lot of space for our parking lot here. And then we have this flatbed truck. So my idea, actually, let me see what this one's worth. Not bad. Got a little bit of rust on it too. My idea is we'll start with a basic rust repair on the Jason. Again, I do kind of want to keep that truck and sort of use it as a parts runner. So let's hop in the old Jason here. Ooh, dark green interior? Is that new? I've seen blue, I've seen brown, I've seen black, I've seen red. I don't know that we've come across a green interior yet. It's kind of fresh. All right, and this is a automatic, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to hit the e-brake. We'll put her in reverse, Terry. The suspension is, oh my God, bad and loud. So loud. I gotta change the camera angle just to keep it a little quieter. What is going on with the suspension here? It's like clipped completely through the ground. Okay, let's just try to get this thing brought in. I promise you, when I drove the vehicles over from the shop, this was not happening. I don't know, maybe the tire's just flat. Something for sure is not right with this thing. So let's put it up in the air. Is the tire just bald? Yeah, maybe it is just that flat. Hang on. Could be something as simple as just needing to air this thing up slightly. Let's lower her back down, see if it's still doing that same weird thing. Oh no, that's way better. Okay, that's all it was, just a flat tire. Easy enough. We're gonna leave it just up in the air a tiny bit. It's so weird having come from Mon Bazou, right? We started playing Mon Bazou again, and now switching back over to this. They're really similar, like the way that the games play are very similar, but the controls are completely different, and it's really throwing me off. So let's see, in addition to a quick rust repair, let's see if there's anything else that we could tackle on this. Lower radiator hose looks pretty bad. A lot of these engine components really don't look too great. That's gonna cost quite a bit of money. Let's just focus on the rust repair for the time being. We've got a spot of rust up there, a little bit down on this rocker. But apart from that, I think that's really it. Everything else just needs to be repainted the same color, which we should probably just go ahead and do. 27, 32, 31. 27, 32, 31. Perfect. Sort of like a blue green. Did it always put stuff on the... I'm gonna turn this around. I would much rather have things sort of spawn in the office rather than on the back side of the wall, like in the tire changing area. That just seems weird to me. All right, it is officially time to break out the old sandblaster. I don't even think we really need to move it out of the corner. The hose should reach just fine, I would think. So we're gonna start down here on this rocker. Let's get that door opened up so we can just make sure we're not missing anything on the inside. No, that looks good to me. And then we just have this little tiny bit up on the roof there. There we go. All right, let's check it out. Rust condition, 5 stars. That's what I'm talking about. Color condition is next. So we're going to put our little sandblaster hose back. We've got our spray paint can right yonder. We're going to need multiple cans, though. Right? We've got the front grille. We've got the rust spots, obviously. The trunk and this quarterback here all need to be resprayed. So let's get after it. Just 1.5 paint cans later, and the deed is done. Let's make sure that we're good here, though. Color condition now 5 stars. That's 18 grand, ladies and gents. Sold. Sold. That puts us up to $28,000. I'm thinking that's probably gonna be enough to purchase this new vehicle. Of course, you guys already know what it is from the title and thumbnail, and we are striking out on our first attempt, but that's okay. We've got plenty of time.
1 hour later.
You're joking, right? We're gonna get one on a rainy day. The rain is just, it's so loud. Let's just do what we need to do here and get the heck out. 3 stars rust, 2-star overall condition, 4-star color condition. I'm guessing that's just from the lavender rear bumper there. Oh, wait a minute, is that a new engine? It is a 3-liter straight 6. Typical BMW, right? But yeah, obviously it's an E36, and I'm gonna buy it, and then save and quit and come back, and hopefully the rain is gone. Now that I can hear myself think, let's get this thing brought over to the garage, and we'll start going through it, assuming it starts. I also didn't know that it was a manual. That's good. And it's got a handbrake. Interesting. Okay, where's the key, though? Kinda need the key in order to start the car. Am I crazy? I don't see it anywhere around the steering wheel. Try to change our camera angle a little bit. There it is. Just a tiny little guy. Okay. Yep. As expected, it has a very gnarly sounding exhaust leak. So obviously we've scooped up the coupe version of the E36. I'm assuming, I don't know this for certain, but I'm assuming there's a 4-door and also a hatch variant of this vehicle. But the coupe is what we're starting with today. So enough chit chat. Let's get this thing up on the hoist and we can start kind of dissecting it. The first thing that I want to take a look at is this new engine. Ooh, transmission's looking kind of hurt back there. Intake manifold, same thing. Throttle body also. The airbox is very, very rusty. It's got several holes in it. And then down there on the underside, got the steering rack needs to be replaced. Exhaust we knew about because the exhaust leak. Apart from that, though, it looks pretty clean, all things considered. Does it have oil in it? Where's our dipstick at? Right here. It does have oil, and it's good oil, so that's nice. I suppose let's start by just kind of ripping off the intake manifold, intake system, really, and then we'll try to pop out the transmission as well, so we can. Well, I guess we're gonna need that open so we can get that thing replaced. This is something that I don't think that we've seen here before. We've got the injectors sort of embedded into the intake manifold, and I don't really know how to remove them, or even if we can remove them. What about the spark plug socket? That might do it. There it is. Are there any other vehicles where we've had like individual injectors like this? I don't think that they're. Oh, the i6D, the DZ. Yep, it's all coming back to me now. So intake manifold obviously dusted. We're gonna need a new throttle body and then intake airbox. I'm thinking that the injectors are probably fine, but let's check our catalog and we'll get that stuff ordered up. What's the i6R? We've seen the straight 6 DZ. We've seen this just the straight 6, the gasser. But what's the i6R? That looks like the same engine trim that we have. Okay, hang on. Let me go back. This is confusing to me. Let me go back to just the straight 6. I see. Okay, so i6R is the engine that should go in the E36s. Again, I'm assuming that there are multiple variants of them. But this is good. We've got the air filter lid, air filter housing. Filter itself was fine, so we don't need to be purchasing one of those. What else did we need? Oh, crankshaft pulley is actually dusted on this, so I'm going to go ahead and purchase one of those too. Exhaust manifold, exhaust header was fine, fuel rail was fine. We're gonna need a new gearbox. That's $426. All right, we are really starting to eat into our budget just a little bit. We've got ignition wires there. There's our injectors, intake manifold. Beautiful. And then I feel like I'm still forgetting something. but I don't know what. Throttle. The throttle body. Of course, $241. All right, that'll be enough to get us going. Anyways, get us back together. With all of that taken care of, we're gonna go ahead and get it lowered back down to the ground. It should run and drive a heck of a lot better than it did when we pulled it in. But what I wanna look at now are the different body panels available for the thing. We've got stuff like front and rear drift bumpers, which are crazy, sort of like a drift bash bar, I guess. Vented rear windows, a little too crazy, probably for me, but I'm sure there are people out there that do like them. The LM mirrors, which kind of look like an M style mirror, right? Almost Ganador, but made by BMW. We've got some different rear bumpers as well, different skirts. Okay, this is really cool. Different hoods, really cool looking spoiler. What the heck? Wide body? Okay, dude, it just keeps on going and going and going. We've got firewall plastic, different floors. I am really liking what I'm seeing. There's our grill. Where do we get the kidneys, though? I see that the grill is there, but where do we get the little inserts? Radiator support. God, there's so much. And then, like, the plasticky trim, sort of the stuff that's on the vehicle now. Obviously, we can purchase that, so that's not necessarily a surprise, but it's cool to see it all separated here in the store. Wait, a cabrio roof? I'm sorry, what? You're telling me we could get a convertible E36 as well? Or if we can't find one, we can just make one. That is crazy. Okay, so now that we've had a look to see, you know, all the different like wide body panels and stuff, I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is back it on into our paint slash sandblasting booth. We'll get all the rust that we can find knocked off of this sucker, and then we'll try to get it all in just one color. I don't know if it's gonna be the factory color or not. I guess time will tell. About 1.5 bags of sand later, I've gone through every square inch of this vehicle, and I can't find that last 5% of rust on it. It is driving me nuts. I guess, you know what I haven't tried yet? Got our pry tool here. We haven't removed the skirts just yet. Okay, that actually looks really clean, but also might need to be painted, so we might as well just leave these off. Passenger side isn't rusty either. Maybe it's under the rear bumper then. Or could be under the carpet. That seems like a tall order. I don't think I'm gonna commit to that just yet. It's kind of tricky because, like, this is a brand new vehicle. I don't know where any of the nuts and bolts are supposed to go or anything like that. There's also no rust behind the rear bumper. Maybe gas cap? No, that's pretty spotless. I couldn't figure out how to remove the window regulators either. These two bolts here with the screwdriver just remove the glass, and you already know I had to swap out both of our mirrors for the M style mirror because it just looks a heck of a lot better. But yeah, I think we're SOL on this last 5% of the rust, but that's okay. So I do want to choose a different color for this vehicle. I just don't know what color I want to do yet. We've got 2 green trucks out front. Oh, also it's very dark and very late. I'm kind of tempted to do a blue maybe. Not a dark blue, not a light blue, but sort of somewhere in between. So I'm gonna buy 3 of these cans. It's probably not gonna be enough, but it's a good place to start. All right, our first few coats are on, and it looks incredible already. However, it's getting very, very late, and I just think it's time to go to bed. Where did you come from? Oh, you know what? When I was trying to buy exhausts for the vehicle, I do remember accidentally purchasing the wrong one twice.
The next day.
We've had our breakfast across the street, cornflakes and water, as per usual. But we got to get back to work on this E36, dude. It is just, it's turning out so good. And I didn't even like look up a color code or anything. This was just kind of a random color that we chose. And it's perfect. It kind of reminds me of Volkswagen's Jazz Blue. Found some rust. Hang on, that could be the 5%. You never know. You never know until you try. It was not the 5%, but I am going to check the other door just to make sure that there's not something similar happening over there. But yeah, as I was saying, this kind of reminds me of Volkswagen's Jazz Blue. I'd be curious to see the hex code for that color, just to kind of compare it to the one we're using, see how close it really is. We're going to be rocking the stock body kit on version 1 of this build, but something I just wanted to point out real quick is look at how adorable, how tiny these little screws are for this front grille. You know, the thing that actually holds, that's hard to get to, the thing that actually holds the kidney grills in place. They're so small. If you didn't know that they were there, you probably wouldn't see them. But the last thing we have to do here is get our front bumper put back on. This little cowl just kind of goes up there on the top. I should have done that after I reinstalled the radiator. And that should about do it for version 1 of this build. I think it looks pretty dang good. However, I don't think I remember to change this. And what was our paint code? 006989. Nice. 0069, nice. 89. Got him. All right, so if we change the color there, that should improve our color condition value. Still 4 stars. I wonder if there's something missing from the vehicle. Something that should be painted, but isn't just because it's not present. Does that make sense? It's not something that we're really going to have to worry about for version 1, but what we need to do now is take this thing on a rip. We got to see how she performs. It's mostly stock. We've replaced a few different stock components in the engine bay, but let's see what she can do. You know, I'm not a huge fan, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge fan of the vehicle sounds, the vehicle audio in this game. However, this one sounds pretty accurate. Sounds pretty accurate to a stock E36. I'm talking stock exhaust, stock everything. Almost sounds like it's about to blow up. So we should probably just keep driving it. And in fact, we should floor it more so that it blows up sooner, right? It is very loud. 5-speed transmission, though. Can't beat that. Temp is just now getting to operating temp. Right smack dab in the middle of the gauge. And it's not overheating. I should also note that I didn't check any of the fluids in this apart from the engine oil when we picked it up, and that was good. So I'm hoping that everything else is fine as well. You know what else we need to do with this? We need to crash. Just one time. Wait. Will it start now? I've never done this. After being flooded. So I think we might have just torched the whole engine. Yep. We hydrolocked it, and it is done for. And on that note, I do think that's where we're going to have to wind things down at for today. But once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.